What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Monday, December 1st. Now, in today's dog video, we have to talk about what's going on in the market overall. Because as you've noticed, we have actually seen that Bitcoin has actually capitulated almost 7%, down to around $85,000 out of nowhere over the weekend. And that is due to some recent news happening in Japan. Rate hikes, bonds, this is all relative to right now what's going on with leverage trading. And right now it's not affecting stock market, it's just affecting cryptocurrency. So there's a lot of manipulation going on out there, but I want to share with you why these are the moments where the 1% of any cryptocurrency, of any particular asset, buy into these dips. In this video, I want to teach you how to become the 1%. How just having to spend $1, $10, $100 or more gives you the leverage to outbeat the 99% of traders out there and put you ahead of the curve. So I'm going to share with you some examples of how I did these exact same practices with Bonk, Bitcoin, and Solana, and how that changed my life and how I'm applying the same rules to dog Bitcoin. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So dog Bitcoin right now is hovering close to around 100 million market cap. It's like right above it. And that's the same level that we saw here roughly around April of 2025. So we're at the support level. Now let's look at Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin, like I said, went down 7%, 84,000 just over the weekend. Now look at over the past week. That major capitulation isn't an accident. This is manipulation. So this is basically to wipe out leverage traders. Overall, the whole crypto market lost around $150 billion in market cap just yesterday. That's yesterday alone. And why is that? Well, apparently Japan's 10-year government bond yield surges 1.84%. And what happens is you see like the Bank of Japan all of a sudden put a rate hike in play. So apparently this is correlated to what's going on with the Bitcoin price. But to me, I think whatever happens with the price, I think people try to attach a narrative to it, because remember, narrative usually typically chases price when it comes to a bear market. When it comes to a bull market, narrative actually can flip and become the main catalyst, and price ends up following narrative. Now, I also want to share with you another thing, which is that the S&P is not down. It's only down roughly around maybe close to 0.3%, but Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana are down 7 to 10%, and most of the market's down, even like meme coins and altcoins down 10 to 20%. It's crazy. But we have events like this, which is a rate cut happening December 10th. Today is supposed to be the end of quantitative tightening, even though the CME watch tool is telling you that there's an 87% chance that there's a 25 basis point rate cut, along with Poly market that's almost saying the exact same thing, around 89%. I actually think that this is very bearish. Now, why do I say that? It's because every single time that we have something very positive about crypto, if it's regulation, if it's, bills being passed onto the Senate and House, if it's rate cuts, if it's the end of quantitative tightening, this has all led to manipulation. So what I think people are thinking is that December 10th could be another bullish catalyst event, when really I think that the manipulators out there, if it's market makers or deep pocketed leverage traders, they want to liquidate anybody who's very bullish on the next announcement. And that next announcement is the rate cut happening December 10th. So I think that this is actually a very bearish thing, which means that crypto could come back up, but also come back down just because of this. So keep that in mind if you're wondering. Now look at December right now. This is December in the negative of 6%. Now this is the first time that we've actually seen 3 negative consecutive months of Q4 since 2018. Now what happened in 2018? Well, basically when we saw 3 consecutive red months, we also were followed by a massive January to the downside. Now keep in mind, this could look something maybe similar to 2019, where we did have red months for November, December, and 2019, which also experienced a very bearish month on January. But then there are these really positive consecutive green months that happen right after. You can see that there's 11, 34, 52, 26%. Remember, in May of next year of 2026, there's going to be a new Fed chair that's going to replace Jerome Powell, which could be very bullish for crypto. But I want to get right to the nitty gritty of how you can become the 1%, because of whatever is going on with the macro market and crypto. How can you outbeat it? Well, you have to buy the dips. And the way to buy the dips is become the 1%. The 1% have this mentality of spending whatever, if it's $1, $10, $100, no matter what, just doing that action makes you the 1%. And as you can see, as of yesterday, the top 100 whale wallets accumulated roughly around 145 million dog tokens in net accumulation, even though we saw 77 million in net outflows, which was possibly the exchange BitGet. So you're seeing all these other different wallets accumulate at that time, especially number 81 and 89. So these wallets are accumulating, and that's how smart money and the 1% work. So I want to share with you this specific diagram and break it down for you. So basically, this is the latest breakdown of dog holders by tier levels, which shows exactly how many tokens each group holds and the percentage of holders in each bracket. So as you can see, there are around 36% of holders that own roughly around 889,000 tokens. That's basically the airdrop. But look at this, around 2% own around 5 million tokens. But here's even a cooler thing, the 1%. And this is something that I think everybody should aim for, which is the dog runner. Now, in order to become the 1% of the dog holders within the circulating supply, you need to own at least around 10 million dog tokens. And at these prices, that should be quite easy. Now, if you look down here, the whales, right? The whales own roughly 4 billion tokens each. And you're seeing that that's roughly around 0.001% of the total supply of dog, which is 100 billion. So people have been wondering, is this enough to shake up the market, meaning shake up the price of dog? I don't think so, because they have a low supply. I think the reason why you're seeing maybe a price in dog dropping is because it's priced in Bitcoin pairs. So whenever Bitcoin takes a drop, everything takes a drop, not just dogs, because it's priced in Satoshis, not priced in US dollars. But also on top of that, maybe you're also saying many retail traders that are pups that are also selling their positions because they're scared. But nonetheless, these percentages should give you an idea of where you should be. Are you the 1% as a dog runner? Are you an alpha dog that owns 50 million tokens? So forth, so on. So this is something that I want you to study and ask yourself, what percentage are you? You should at least be the 1% within the dog runner standings. Now I'm going to share with you now how to become the 1% and how to spot these prices early. So here's Bonk. I was airdropped Bonk at around $500. Now at that time, it was roughly around April of 2023. Now at this time, it was a $9 million market cap. Well, guess what? If you just held, or if you even dollar cost average, but if you just held that amount, it roughly surpassed over $2 billion just a year later. Just think about that. All you have to do is buy the dips or hodl and wait until those profits reach 2x, 10x, even 20x for that matter. This was a huge substantial gain for myself. Now let me go ahead and put this specific section right here. So as I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and block out the right side of this image, which means that you may only see that flat line. So in your mind, mentally, you don't actually see a pump ever coming. And so because of that, this is what I want you to train your mind to do. I want you to see, like, why am I buying Bonk? Well, I believe that Bonk is the #1 meme coin at the time on Solana. And it has a great narrative and everybody's talking about it. So I believe this thing's gonna go up. And then once I remove the right side, blockage, you'll see what happens if you believe in that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward to Bitcoin. Same thing. Now look at 2017. If you had bought Bitcoin roughly around here, right? Around August, which is what I did. If you block out the right side, you would not have seen those gains. In fact, you would only see what you see on the microscopic level, which is that price. But now when you remove that blockage on the right side, you will now see that the price goes up. But you wouldn't see that in the very beginning. But if you believe in the fundamentals and conviction of Bitcoin, then you know that it's just a matter of time when this thing goes back up. Now let's go to Solana. Here's another example, okay? So I bought Solana roughly around $8. Now I'm gonna leave this right here. And again, I'm gonna block out the right side. Now you don't actually see Solana actually growing. In fact, you're actually scared maybe at the price never going back up. But if you believe on Solana, which Solana still even to this day is one of the quickest blockchains out there, which I think will surpass Ethereum at some certain point. I believe in the technology. And yes, there's a lot of FUD regarding FTX, Alameda Research, Sam Bankman-Fried, you name it. All that crazy fear that was happening in the market, that was the time to buy. And no one would know if it was to go back up. But if you just believe in the technology, then you know it will come back. But guess what? When I remove the blockage of the right side, you'll now see what happens when you just hodl and believe in something, that the return on investment does come back eventually. Now here's another example. Now that you're looking at Bitcoin's price, you're seeing it at a low. You're seeing massive fear in the market. You're seeing massive market manipulation within the market. But nonetheless, if you believe in the fundamentals of DOG, you'll know it'll go back up. You just need to be patient, or have these opportunities to dollar cost average and buy into this and have that exposure. That's how the 1% think. The 1% buy dips or hodl through the storm. They never sell. Typically the people that sell are the ones that are emotional. This is how you separate the 1% from the 99%, because the 99% never buy. They usually sell, or they buy something else that's already pumped and they're ending up being exit liquidity. The 1% always buys the dips, no matter what. This is how it works. And if you could just press $1 buy now button, $2 buy now button, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever, just the act of buying something is a significant change in your mind that trains you to buy like the 1%, if that makes any sense. So like I said before, when you look at the overall chart, you're seeing this right now. You're seeing the price of dog Bitcoin at this price. But if I remove the right side, the blockage of what the price will be, you wouldn't believe it. But it will happen eventually. So this is why opportunities like this are very, very rare. So if I were you, if you want to be the 1%, I'd be buying these dips. That's just my personal opinion. So let me know your thoughts down below, your strategies. Are you the 99% or are you the 1%? And I cannot wait to read those comments. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog and Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.